Hey guys, Godslayer here, and today we're going to be going over Iran's influence on the war on ISIS in both Iraq and Syria. Iran's influence over the war can be traced to its roots in Shia and Sunni traditional violent religious tensions. Iran has a majority Shia population of around 90%, whereas ISIS is a Sunni extremist organization. Iran holds influence over neighboring Shia-populated countries and groups such as the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, also known as the IRGC. Iraq, the Syrian regime, Hezbollah, and other Shia Iranian proxy insurgent militia groups, whereas ISIS holds a presence in Iraq, Syria, and Sunni insurgent militia groups throughout the Middle East. The IRGC is a major component in influence versus the growing ISIS and Sunni extremist threat within Iraq and Syria. The IRGC Quds Force, who reports directly to Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei, has an active presence in Iraq and Syria as military advisors, combatants, and suppliers to the Shia militia presence. At any given time, since the start of the Syrian civil war in 2011, it is estimated that around 60 to 70 Quds Force officers and over 600 soldiers are in the Syrian battlefield, gaining combat experience against the Syrian regime's opponents, including ISIS. In June 2014, Iran is the first country to pledge assistance to Iraq to fight ISIS during the Iraqi civil war. The IRGC Quds Force are actively fighting ISIS militant groups, as well as other Sunni extremist groups within Iraq and Syria. Hezbollah, the Iranian terror proxy group, has a major presence within Lebanon, Iraq, and western Syria. Hezbollah militants are trained by the Iranian Quds Force and have shifted from its traditional enemy of Jewish Israel to Iraq's and Syrian's regime's Sunni opposition of ISIS, due to its strong ties with Iran. In 2013, Hezbollah started sending thousands of fighters to the Syrian regime and as well as Iraq in 2014 to help on the battlefield. The main Hezbollah group based out of Lebanon pushed ISIS out of Lebanon and western Syria, reinforced by the Shia and Iranian efforts. Small Iranian Shia proxy insurgent militia groups are scattered all throughout Iran, Iraq, and Syria. They receive most of their training and equipment from the Iranian Quds Force and reinforce almost all main Shia conflicts and efforts throughout the Middle East. Operation Ashura was a two-day liberation of Iraqi city Jurf al-Sakhar that was being held by ISIS. They were liberated by the Iranian Shia insurgent groups of Al-Haq, Hezbollah, and Badr Organization, and other unnamed groups from the ISIS-held city during October 2014. All of these insurgencies were funded and trained by Iran's Quds Force. It resulted in a significant tactical victory, preventing ISIS from reaching the holy cities of Karbala and Najaf, where ISIS planned to attack thousands of Shia visitors during the major holiday of Day of Ashura. Iranian influence on the war on ISIS can be broken down to both religious and proxy relations to the Shia militia groups within the Middle East. The Iranian Quds Force trains, supplies, and advises virtually all the Shia paramilitary groups within Iraq and Syria against its traditional religious Sunni enemy in the form of ISIS. Iran hopes to gain Shia superiority over ISIS-occupied lands within Allied territory. Iraq and Syria seek help from Iran either directly or indirectly through proxy group or main force IRGC relations in the areas. If you ended up liking the video, consider subscribing. It's free, you can always change your mind. Thank you for watching.